So this is the third treaty of how Lazarillo settled with a squire and what happens with him. In this way, I was forced to take force or strength from my weakness, and bit by bit, with the help of some good people, I managed to get to the illustrious city of Toledo, where, with the mercy of God, um, in 15 days, the wound closed. My wound closed. And whilst I was ill, um, they would always give me some money from begging. That's what limosna is. But afterwards, when I was healthy, they would all say to me, "You scoundrel! You are a scoundrel and a rogue, or a rascal. Look for a master whom you can serve." And this is Lazarillo now speaking. Where will I find that person? I said to myself, unless God now does not create him again as God created the world. And thus walking and going from door to door, fed up and with little help, because charity has ascended into heaven. God made me come across a squire who was walking down the street with a reasonable outfit, well groomed, or well groomed, with his gait, or with his walking in order. So he had a good step. He looked at me and I looked at him, and he said to me, "Lad, are you looking for a master?" And I said to him, "Yes, sir." And he said to me, "Well, come after me, come with me." He responded, "That God has done you a mercy in making you come across me. You must have prayed a good prayer today." And I followed him, giving thanks to the Lord for what I heard, and also what it seemed to me that, in accordance with his bearing and his manners, he seemed to be the person who I had need of. It was the morning when when I came across this, my third master, and he brought me with him around a good part of the city. We went through squares where bread was sold and other provisions were being sold, and I thought that he even wanted me there to load myself up with what was being sold, because it was the right time when one usually buys what is necessary. But very quickly he went through these things. By fate, perhaps he does not see here anything which he fancies. I said, and he will want that we buy it in another place. In this way, we walked until it struck 11. Then he went into the main church, and I went in after him. And very devoutly, I watched him listening to a mass and other divine offices, other divine services, until it was all over. The people had gone, and then we left the church. Hurriedly, we started to go down the street, and I was the happiest man in the world on seeing that we had not spent time in looking for stuff to eat. because I considered that this must be a man, my new master must be a man who um, who has lots in the house, basically, who provides himself all at once. So he has lots of things stocked up in the house, and that already the the food, so the meal at midday was ready, um, just as I was hoping for it, for the food, and more as I had need of it. At this time, the clock struck one after midday, and we arrived home ante la cual. We arrived at a house. Sorry, we arrived at a house before which, in front of which, my master stopped, and I stopped with him, and throwing the end of his cape over his left side, he took out a key from his manga, from his sleeve, and he opened the door, and we went into the house, which had an entrance which was very dark and gloomy, in such a way that it seemed to scare those who were coming into it. Although inside it there was a small patio and reasonable sized rooms. When we had entered, he takes off his cape and asking me if I had clean hands. We shake it off, and we fold it, and I'm blowing on a stone bench to clean it. That at the stone bench that was there, I put it on top of this bench. And once that had been done, he sat at the end of it, and the end, ella must be the cape, and asking me, in a very detailed way where I was from and how I had come to this city. I gave him I told him a longer story than I had wanted, because it seemed to me a more suitable time. That seemed to me a more suitable time than to have the table laid and to have the pot or whatever was in the pot dished out than what my master was asking of me. With all this, I satisfied him about my about who I was, about my person, and the best that I knew how to lie, saying all my good qualities and not mentioning the rest, because it seemed to me that this was not for polite company. So literally, it's that this talk about the bad things was not for the chamber. So it was not for polite company. Oh. Once this was, let's do it. Once this was done, he was thus a little while, and I then saw a bad sign, because it was almost 2, and y no le ver más aliento, and I could not see any desire to eat from my master than from a dead man. After this, I was considering the fact that he, my master, had the door closed, had the door locked with a key, so he has it locked, and the fact that I could not hear upstairs nor down any steps of a living person in the house and all that I had seen was walls without seeing in the house as a chair to sit on, nor a log, nor a proper bench, nor a table, nor even one of those chests like like the one long ago, one of those chests that like everyone has. Finally, um, it seemed to me a haunted house. Um, and being like this, while I was thinking about all these things, he said to me, "You lad, have you eaten?" "No, sir," I said. That it was still que aún no eran dadas las ocho. It's still not gone 8 when I came across you. You, sir, vuestra merced, your mercy, your grace. Well, although it was in the morning, I had already eaten, and when I eat something like that, I'm going to let you know that until the night, I am like this, without eating. Therefore, do as you can, manage how you can, that afterwards we'll have something to eat for the evening meal. Oh, so now Lazarillo is talking to the readers, to us. So, may you, sir, know that when I heard this, I was about to faint, not so much from hunger than from realizing or knowing de por conocer de todo en todo la fortuna serme adversa, for realizing that my fortune was bad, was against me, very much so. And there they came back to me again, my fatigas, my ailments or my worries or the things against me in life, and I started to bewail my efforts. And there it came. I remembered, it came to me, to the memory. I remembered the thought that I had when I was considering going from the cleric, saying that although this one was unlucky and miserable, so this new master was unlucky and miserable, perhaps I would find a worse one. Perhaps I would find a worse one. Finally, there I cried my lot. I bewailed my difficult and difficult and hard life, and my close future death. And with all that, disimular, pretending the best I could, I said, "Sir, I am a lad who does not get tired a lot through eating or through not eating. Grace be God. And about this, the fact that I don't get tired, I could praise myself amongst all my equals for having the best throat. And thus I was praised on account of it until today by my masters that I have had. There's virtue in that," said him, the master, "and on account of this I will love you the more, because to fill oneself until one's full is of pigs, and to eat frugally, or to eat in a correct way, is of good men." Well, I have understood you, I said to myself. Cursed be so much medicine, and cursed be so much goodness, um, that these masters who I find, and cursed that they find this in hunger. Yeah. So cursed be that my masters find so much medicine and goodness in hunger. I sat at the end of the entrance, so leaning up against the entrance, and I took out some bits of bread from my bosom, which means from the inside of his shirt, that had remains that were left over from those from begging. Los de por Dios is from those from begging. He who, so the master who saw this, said to me, "Come here, lad. What are you eating?" You gave me a. I went towards him and I showed him the bread. He took a bit of this. He took from the 3 bits of bread that were there. He took the best one and the biggest one, and he said to me, "By my life, this does seem to be good bread." I said, and well, how so? Now, I said, "Sir, is it good?" As if to say, it's not really good, I just want to eat it. "Yes," says the master, "in good faith," he said. ¿Dónde lo viste? I don't know what viste is. Where did you get it? Most probably. It's 5. Viste. Oh, so where did you get it from? Where did you sort of steal it from? Where did you get it from? Has it been amasado el pan? Has it been rolled out, or has it been that thing that you do with bread where you roll it and you shape it? Has it been shaped and rolled with clean hands? Now here, what most probably means here with clean hands is hands not of people with pure blood, with clean blood. So that means not with people who were in the past Jews or of Moorish descent. That's what that could mean there. I don't know about that, I said, but to me, it doesn't disgust me, the taste of it. Pray to God, said my poor master, and bringing it to his mouth, he started to nibble fiercely at it, as I was on the other bit. "It's delicious, this bread," he said, "by God." And literally this means, and as I felt him, that the foot was limping, and so what it means is I realised where he was going with this. Yeah. And as I realised where my master was going with this, I hurried up, because I saw in him, ready, that if I was not finishing before, he would be content to help me, with what was remaining of the bread. And with this, we acabamos casi a una. We finished at the same time, perhaps? Not really sure there. And then he started to brush off with his hands some little crumbs, and they were very little crumbs, that that had remained on his chest from eating the bread. And he went into one of the rooms that there was there, and he took out a jug which whose rim was broken, and it wasn't very new. And when this was ubo bebido, and when he drank from it, he offered it to me. Literally, he invited me with it. And me, myself, so this is and me, as if to make out that I was being moderate. To make out that I was moderate, I said to him, "Lord, sir, I don't drink wine." And he responded to me, "It's water. You can drink." Therefore, I took the jar and I drank. Not much, because my discomfort or my distress wasn't of thirst. Basically, it was hunger. And I'll stop there for a minute.